Hey, YouTube, how y'all doing today? Um, my name is Gerard, and this is one of my first videos, so y'all go easy on me. Today we're gonna be talking about wives submit to your husbands. Oh Lord, nah, but it's not that bad. Trust me. Things that you hear, it's not always true. So we're gonna get into it. This comes from First Peter, chapter 3, and I promise you, when it says submit to your husbands. It's talking about a reverence. It's talking about a respect. It says be submissive because of the responsibilities that's given to your husband. Especially if your husband is a godly man. God gives responsibilities to the man, and and then you're covered if you fall under that umbrella of a man that's anointed, a man that's of the Spirit, a man that's saved. But if the man is not saved, then you know this is what this is talking about. A woman can actually save her husband. A woman can actually heal her husband. So, but let's get into it. It's just chapters 1 through 7, so it's not going to take long. Hopefully, it'll be informative to you guys, and I hope you learned something. If you understand this already, share it. If you like it, share it. If not, it's all good. But let's get into it. Chapter 1. Uh, Wives, in the same way, submit yourselves to your own husbands, so that if any of them do not believe the word, they may be won over without words. And them, they're talking about your husbands, can be won over without them understanding the scripture. But you understand the scripture. So they can be won over without them even understanding the scripture by you maintaining and you consistently living a life that's glorifying God. Um, it says, let's read it one more time. It says, wives, in the same way, submit yourselves to your own husbands, so that if any of them do not believe the word, they may be won over without words by the behavior of their wives. And that's what I was talking about earlier. So by the behavior of their wives, by the behavior of a woman, can win a man to Christ. Verse 2, when they see the purity and the reverence of your lives, that's when it happens. By the purity and the reverence of your lives to Christ, your husband will see that. And your husband, most of the time, may take a while, but he can become saved because of the love of Christ and the love of Christ that he sees in you. 3, it says, your body should not come from outward adornment. Your body should not come from outward adornment. Outward adornment is what they're talking about here is like wearing makeup, wearing sexy clothing, hairstyles, bracelets, dressing up nice and heels. Most people say, well, no, that's not a Christian, or that person doesn't believe in God. Look at how she dresses. Look at the things that she has on. It has nothing to do with nothing. I promise you, nothing. It just says that these things are external. These things are not what, it may be what get the man, but it's not going to be what keeps the man. It's the internal that keeps the man. And it'll show you that in a minute. So verse 3, again, it says, your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as elaborate hairstyles, wearing gold jewelry, or fine clothes. See? Rather, it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and a quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. So it comes from the inside. Whenever God saves you, he saves you from the inside out. And those are the things that God looks at as being worthy, as being beautiful, having an unfading beauty. That unfading beauty is you on the inside. You know what I mean? Verse 5, for this is the way that holy women of the past who put their hope in God used to adorn themselves. They submitted themselves to their own husbands, like Sarah, who obeyed Abraham and called him her Lord. Now, you don't have to call your husbands Lord, especially if they're not saved. They're not going to understand what that is. She was calling him Lord because of a reverence, because of You know, it was a title of honor. It was more of a respect to Abraham. You know, it says, "You are daughters, if you do what is right, and you do not give away to fear." You know, many people, they cannot understand what we're saying right here because they don't have the spirit that allows them to understand these things. You know, in Job chapter 32, verse 8, it says, "But it is the spirit of man, the breath of the Almighty, that makes him to understand." So we are reborn with the Spirit of Christ. That's the reason why we understand these mysteries, these things. And many people, you've probably heard, read this and say, well, you can't wear this, and you can't do that, and you can't do that. It's just simply not true. You know, if you read everything in context, it's telling you that the external is not what keeps the man. But doing the external things doesn't make you a sinner. But having an understanding, having the inside quiet spirit, that's the unfading beauty that God looks at and says it's worthy, you know. And verse 7, it says, "Husbands, in the same way be considerate as you live with your wives, and treat them with respect as the weaker partner, and as heirs, you of a gracious gift of life, so that nothing will hinder your prayers." Let's read it one more time. It says, "Husbands, in the same way be considerate as you live with your wives, and treat them with respect as the weaker partner, and as heirs with you of the gracious gift of life." Having a wife is a gift. And yes, she is the weaker vessel, but she's your partner. She's a helpmate. She's someone there to help you through these times. So we have to respect her as such. You know, we have to pray with her as such. Pray with your kids. And husbands, pray with your wives. Wives, pray with the kids. And you come and you pray as a family. Nothing could happen. Nothing can come to you. I promise you that. Look, I hope this was helpful. This was a little quick tip. If you like, subscribe and share. And let me know what you think. And if y'all have any other things you want me to go over, or something you don't understand, let me know. I'll be happy to do it. Y'all have a good one. Peace.